All right, you guys, welcome. Right now I am getting a low network connection sign on my phone. So what I'm going to do is I am going to check to see if I am okay. Sometimes I get these and, everything's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and check to make sure that we are live, that you guys can hear and see me okay. I'm going to share this out to my group, and then we're going to jump right into today's topic. All right, so it's saying that it's trying to connect. And if you are joining with me live, if you can just let me know that you can hear and see me okay, and that we're not having any kind of connection issues, no fuzziness or anything like that going on. And so I am also going to do that as well on my end. And then we're going to get started. I'm super excited about today's topic. I think that it's going to be really interesting. And it was actually something that I had asked the group the other day. I said, what is something or what do you guys want me to talk about on Wednesday? And so anyway, I had, asked. And so I got somebody said something about staffing and parents. And I was just like, okay, I thought about maybe doing maybe covering both of them. And I was thinking, wait a minute now. Staffing and parents kind of go hand in hand. So anyway, we're going to talk about that. So let me go in here and make sure that you guys can hear and see me okay. If you are joining live, if you can just give me a thumbs up, let me know that you can hear and see me okay. Once again, I am checking out on my end to make sure that we don't have any issues with anything, and then we will get started. Obviously, if you are watching the replay, which I think I'm okay. It looks a little bit shaky on my end, but I still think we're fine. So let's see here, guys. All right. Okay, I think that we're good. We're gonna go with it anyway. And okay, Ellen Petty says we are all good. Thank you so much for that check, LN. I really appreciate that. And so, like I said, we'll go ahead and go with it. I know that it's kind of like the weather today is a little bit, we've had some rain and all that good stuff. So you know how that can go. And let me ask you this question. Do you see any kind of fuzziness going on, LN? Fill me in on that. Because I know I just saw some a little bit too. But anyway, I think we're okay. Let me go down and also look at the comments. I just saw that just a few minutes ago. And anyway, yes, we're good there. I'm going to go ahead and share this out to my screen. Hang on. How is y'all's day going? How is your week going? So y'all listen, the last few weeks, I haven't done any lives or anything like that. So for those of you that know me, you kind of, you've been following me for a while. I usually work 3 weeks on, and then I take a week off. So the last 2 weeks, the week one I was off, and then, okay, thank you so much, Ellen. Week one I was off, and then last week, obviously when you kind of have a week off and then you come back in, it just is what it is. So last week I was just trying to kind of get back in the swing of things. But the beauty, you guys, about taking time off is that you literally get to reflect. And that's what I did. So normally whenever I take off, I do whatever I want to do. I know 1 week that I took off, 1 month, I cleaned. I just cleaned and cleaned and cleaned. And then this time, it was kind of on and off, but I had my daughter for 2 days out of that week. And I reflected. I had some time to reflect about just, my business and just the things that I wanted to do and just things of that nature. And so I just want you to we're not talking about this today. It's a good topic, but we're not going to talk about this. But I just want to just let you know that stepping away sometimes, although it's the hardest thing to do, is the best thing that you can do, because whenever we step away, we're able to get those downloads that we need. And I call them downloads. And downloads is literally, it's like, sometimes when we're thinking about something so hard and we're trying to work our business, we're trying to change things, we're trying to make it better, and our minds are constantly on that, nothing comes up, no solutions happen. But then as soon as you step away, then you just get all these ideas just start popping in your head. And so that's what happened to me when I took off this month, I guess it was last month. And so anyway, it was really great. Hi, Deidre. How are you? I haven't seen you in a while. All right, so I'm going to share this. I started rambling and got sidetracked. So let me go ahead and share this to my group, and then we're going to get started. But yeah, y'all, it was just nice, and it's always nice to step away. For me though, I feel like it's hard sometimes to do that, but it's always nice. So all right, hang on just a second because this is in my way. There we go. Share. Come on. Okay. Got it. Did I do it to the right one? Yes. Okay, we're good. All right, y'all. So let's jump into this topic now. For those of you that, I'm just reading comments. Hang on. I'm great, been busy, but I'm still following you. Oh, well, I appreciate that. And I know how it is. Oh my goodness, Deidre, it's like when, life just keeps us going, right? Life, it just keeps us going. So I completely understand that. But for those of you who are new to Child Care Success Tools and you don't know who I am, let me just go ahead and do my official introduction. So my name is Ashley Benz. I am the founder and creator of Child Care Success Tools, which is the #1 online platform, you guys, for childcare business automation. Now, what qualifies me to do this is that I actually owned, operated, ran, and directed a childcare business of 10 years. I started out as a family childcare provider in my home, and then we transitioned that into a licensed center. I did that for 10 years. And what makes what makes my story a little bit different or unique is that I have actually ran a childcare program 2 different ways. So the first 6 years that I was in business, I ran it without childcare business automation. And then after that, I ran it with childcare business automation. The difference was completely life-changing, y'all. Those of you that follow me, you know me, you've heard all my stories, but for somebody that's new here, just different, like night and day in regards of how my business functioned. And, what I do is I actually work with owners all over the world. So I work with people everywhere. And my goal for you is that you understand what it takes to be able to have and run a childcare business that not only enriches the lives of children and families, but your own life. That's what I lacked. That's what I know most of you all are lacking. And basically what happens is that, your business runs you instead of you running it. And that's what childcare business automation does. Okay. So that's just a little bit of a summary of who I am, what I do for those of you that are new. Now, also, what we're going to be talking about today, and y'all, if you're new, I always use my notes because listen, I am a rambler, and when I get to talking, I can just go and go and go and get off topic and there's so much that we could talk about, right, about running a successful childcare business. So I do use my notes. But anyway, what we're going to be talking about today is why you have to control your staff to control your parents. And we're going to be dealing with a little bit of staffing and a lot with dealing with picky parents, because what I did was in my private Facebook group community, which if you are not a part of, you need to join. I'll be sure to leave a link in the comments below. But I had asked the other day, I was like, what do y'all want me to talk about on Wednesday? Here's the thing about it, y'all. Anything that you want me to discuss, please let me know. Okay, so you can do that via my Facebook business page. Just go in there, message us. My team will get that. But if there is any topic, I go live mostly every Wednesday. So if there's anything that you want me to talk about, please let me know. Here's the thing about it. I can talk about this stuff all day long. There is so many topics that we can discuss about running a successful childcare business. But, I do want to make sure that I'm relevant to what you're dealing with. And so, like I said, if there's any topics that you want me to discuss in any of these weekly videos, just let me know some kind of way. Okay. Y'all know, most of you all know how to get in contact with me. And like I said, the best and easiest way is to go to the Facebook business page and let us know there. And then my team will get back. So, okay. Why you have to control your staff to control your parents, dealing with picky parents. And we're going to talk about staff too. So before I kind of jump into my topic, y'all, I got 3 pages of stuff today on this stuff. So before I jump in, I would like to invite you to like, love, share this video out. So give me some hearts. Make sure that you like this video. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you are watching the replay of this or the recording of this Facebook Live, but I really want to invite you to subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed. And be sure when you do subscribe to hit that little bell. That is, I think like whenever you subscribe, there's going to be a little bell. Make sure to hit that bell because that is going to give you notifications. It's going to send notifications directly to your phone or your iPad or whatever you got that, a video has been posted. And so, you obviously want to be in the know of whenever I post up these videos because this stuff, y'all, is value stuff. I am no fluff stuff. I do not, I'm the kind of person I'm not going to stay on the surface about a topic. Like I want to dig in because that's where we learn. That's how we learn is when we kind of dig in and we get under that hood. So do that for me. Thank you so much for the hearts. And hi, Brandy. Thank you so much for joining. All right. So listen, let me just give y'all this information too. And then we'll jump in. So usually when I do these Facebook Lives, it's usually part of my schedule to plan for them the day before. So I usually would go through and kind of write out my notes and all that stuff the day before. Well, here's one thing I'm going to also tell you about just running a business in general is that you do have to be very disciplined, but sometimes you just kind of have to not go that route. And sometimes you got to do what you feel, because we are born with intuition. And so, yes, you guys that know me know that I'm very strict about a calendar, time management, and all those things. But if at any time I feel like, you know what, I don't want to do that, or I don't want to do it that way, I don't. So I actually put up these notes this morning, and let me once again, talking about those downloads, just stuff was just going flowing. So I'm excited about what I'm going to share with you today. Hi, Kim. She says, hello, Ash. I love that you call me Ash. People that know me, they'll call me Ash. So good to be back here again. You've been very busy, but glad to be a part of the chat. Well, I am super glad that you are here joining as well, Kim. All right, you guys. So let's jump into this topic. Why you have to control your parents. Why you have to control your staff to control your parents, and how do we deal with the picky parents? So first of all, I want to talk about how do these two things go hand in hand, because they actually go hand in hand. And here's the deal about your staff. Okay, we're going to talk about them just for a few seconds here. Your staff are the people that are on the front line. Okay, so it kind of starts with them. And we're going to get into this in a few minutes, but it kind of starts with them and then it starts with you. They're on the front line. So it's just like, you think about, soldiers and people that go to war and, all that kind of stuff, right? Well, the people that are on the front line, they got to be trained. You do not put somebody on that front line and they are going to chicken out when it's time to, get with the program, right? You don't do that. And so the people that are on the front line, they've got to be trained on how to deal with your parents or anything, right? That they got to be the best. We're going to get into that in a little bit deeper, but how they go hand in hand is because you've got your staff are here. Okay. Your staff are here. Your parents are here. They're on the front line. And this is how they kind of go hand in hand. And so if you don't have a plan or you don't know how to control your staff, you're going to have issues with your parents. Okay. That's just how that works. Now, let's talk about dealing with the parents. So let me dive into that one, and then we'll get back into the staff. Okay, so somebody said I need help dealing with the parents. Okay, they're picky. Okay. So the first thing I want you to understand, the first way in dealing with the parents is that they're people. Okay, the parents are people. Now, when we are dealing with people, you're dealing with all kinds of personality types, guys. All kinds, right? You're dealing with, I remember picky parents, then I had some that wasn't picky. I had some that didn't care, then you have the ones that are, they're more concerned, or the only time you hear from them is when there's an issue with their payment, or they, then you got, parents like that. And then you got all kinds of people. So the first thing that you need to understand is that you're dealing with people, for one. Okay. And when we look at it that way, understanding that you've got all kind of different personality types. So there's a lot for you as an owner, whether you're doing this out of your home, or you are running a center, or you're doing a multi-center. You just got to keep in mind that you're just dealing with a lot of people. Okay. Now, how do you deal with all that stuff, right? How do you deal with these people that are picky? Like I said, I would have some that didn't want to follow my handbooks, and all that kind of stuff. So how do we deal with that? Well, you are, and you and your staff are going to have to be on the same page. You're going to have to be on the same page. But here's the issue, though. This is what the issue is that you don't even have a page for them to be on. Okay. You don't have a page for them to be on. So they don't really know what you want them to do. They don't know how you want them to handle a picky parent. They don't know how to answer when a parent comes in and pick up their child and the parent is irate over some socks. Because I've had that happen, right? Infant moms, right? Hey, it happens. So first of all, you got to be on the same page, but you as the leader and the owner, you got to have a page for them to be on. Okay. And this is the problem. So let's talk about dealing with the staff. Okay. So I'm going to go back to what I said about the same thing about dealing with the parents. Carolyn says, hi, Carolyn. She says, I hear you. My parents are picky. Listen, they just are. They are picky, and you kind of have to, we gotta sympathize obviously with them. I know some of us are parents ourselves, and so you kind of understand that, this is your child. You got different kind of parenting styles. You got the parents that keep their children in bubbles and they don't want anything to happen to them. And then you got some that are, that they do obviously care about their child. They care about their child's education. But if they come in and pick up their child and the child fell and they got a little bruise on their knee, they're not gonna, I'm not a picky parent. I'm pretty laid back with my daughter. I've got a 3-year-old, for those of you that don't know me. She goes to daycare. And, I know things are gonna happen. I get that, and so, but nonetheless though, you gotta know how to deal with any one of these parents, right? Because at the end of the day, they're the reason why you're there. They chose you to bring their child, to you, like they chose you. So we have to learn how to be very patient with them and all those good things. But, and remember that with your staff though, that Brandy says, oh, the socks. Yes. I don't know how many times I'm thinking y'all, okay, hang on. Let me get away from my notes for a second. And this may be a little venting because I've been there, but I'm thinking, okay, wait a minute now. Now, I get it, right? Okay, I've had an infant, I've dealt with all that before. I've been that mom. And I'm thinking that you come in and you complain about socks, but you don't ask me what did she learn today? Or what did he learn today? Never understood that. And I'm thinking, look, okay, I could care less about socks. I can go to the dollar store or Walmart or whatever and go pick up some socks for my child. But what did she learn today? Did she have a great day? What did you do with her today? That's what I'm concerned about as a parent. Those are the kind of parents that you want. But because we are in a service-based business and you're going to get an array of parents, you got to know how to deal with the ones that are not so laid back like that. So, but let's talk about dealing with the staff. So another thing too is that the staff they're people too. Okay. And I remember especially when, I was running my childcare program and my business and my center. And I do feel like that for me, there is that line and there was that role that I had to play. I had to play that role as a leader. I had to play that role as, the one that's in charge, the one that just I got the plan. Doesn't matter what happens. We're going to be okay, and I had to play that role. And so sometimes I a lot of times actually, I would disconnect myself from my staff. And sometimes you forget they are people, they have lives, and all that. So just never forget that when you're dealing with either one, when you're dealing with your parents or your staff, that they are people. Okay. Now, here's something else about staff. Staff need guidance and leadership. Okay. They need guidance and leadership. Dealing with staff is no different than dealing with the kids, right? Now, you and me both know that if you walk into a classroom and there is no structure, what are those kids going to do? It's going to be a zoo house in there. Y'all, we've seen that happen, right? I know I have. I know I've, seen a teacher, and I'm walking in there, and even before I get up to her room, I can hear the chaos going on. Oh, well, no, that's it. She's not guiding. There's no structure. There's no plan. And so your staff are the same exact way. People want to be led. People want to understand what is expected of them. Okay. They want that, and they need that to perform, right? So if you are dealing with staff issues, now I'm getting ready to tell you right up front. Right now, I'm probably getting ready to step on some toes. Okay, this is gonna hit home a little bit. So if you do not want me to step on your toes, I'm going to give you it's time to crisscross applesauce warning, because I'm getting ready to step on your toes. But if you are dealing with staff issues, listen, y'all, it's not them, it's you. Okay. Because you are allowing it. Okay. Now let's tie this all together when we're talking about how, how to understanding, controlling your staff, it equals into controlling your parents. Hey, wait a minute. There's like a net or something flying around in here. So, but let's tie this all together. Now, if you are dealing with parent issues, the same thing applies. It's not them, but it's you, right? Because why? Because you're allowing it. That's just it. You're allowing the parents to come in and just do what they want to do. And you're also allowing the staff to come in and do what they want to do. It's kind of simple, right? So how do we fix this? What do you do? How do you pull this thing together? Well, first, you start with the leader. So anytime we're going to fix something of this nature, and it doesn't matter what it is, you guys, any organization, any business, it starts at the top. That's where it starts at the very top. And, a lot of the times, y'all, the issues that you're having in your childcare business, you got to look at yourself first. Okay. I know sometimes that may be hard to hear, but you got to look at yourself. If something's not working, look at you. Think about you as a leader. What is it that I am doing? What is it that I'm not doing? What do I need to do more of? What should I do less? You got to look at yourself, because you're the one that controls how things get ran at your childcare program. The leader has a vision. The leader sets boundaries, and the leader has a plan. Right? Then what that leader does is that leader then brings that plan to the staff, and they train the staff on, okay, listen, guys, with these picky parents, this is how I want you to deal with this, okay? Because let me just tell you this up front. It shouldn't be you dealing with it all the time. Now, if you're a family childcare home, then you kind of have to play the role of staff and, all that stuff, right? But even at that, you should know when things come to you, how you're going to deal with it before it happens. Now, granted, there are times where we just run into things, and something just hits us in the face. We never have dealt with it, never expect it. That's different. Okay. But with that, you just got to do the best you can. But for the most part, and I'm talking about these, we know the stuff that they get picky about, you know your parents, but you should have a plan in place that it's okay, how am I going to deal with this? What is our policy here? What is, what's the game plan, right? So the plan should answer the question. Okay. And this may be something you want to write down. How are we going to deal with the parent who is picky, complains, not satisfied? How are we going to deal with all that, right? And so with your staff, how am I as a leader going to deal with the staff who is not supporting the plan or the vision, right? Because they go hand in hand. Why? Because your staff are on the front line. They're the ones that's going to be dealing when the parent comes in to pick. They don't pick up the child with you. They go to the child's classroom or the child's teacher, and that's where they pick up the child at. So they're going to be dealing with them more than they are you. Okay. Now this is obviously for in a center base. If you're in a home, they're going to be dealing with you. But nonetheless, what is the plan? If we're talking about staff, what is the plan? How am I as a leader? What am I going to do when I know that this staff member does not need to be here? Right? What am I going to do when I know this parent doesn't need to be here? You know, sometimes parents can be too picky, and where they need to go, okay, is they may want to get into maybe looking into more of a private setup or something like that, nannying or something like that, right? But, you know, you got to have a plan. What is your plan? You're the leader, right? The leader, what? Let me go over this again. You should have a vision. You need to set boundaries. So there should be some things that you're just not going to put up with, okay? From staff or parents, right? There are some things it is not worth the money, right? Hello. There are some parents, it's not worth the money, right? Like they just might want to go to a setting, a childcare setting that's going to be a little bit more hands-on or whatever. I don't know, whatever's going to work for them. But you should be stressed out over a picky parent because you should have boundaries that say, okay, now there's a certain point I don't mind. And listen, you guys, I was the one that, like, I'm very patient with people, I guess as I get a little bit older, I think that I kind of start, like, my boundaries are more clear. So for me, there are certain things I'm just not going to deal with. And there's certain things that, I'm patient with. But at the end of the day, I think that when you have those boundaries set, when it's time to maybe let somebody go if they're going to be too picky, okay, or a staff member. So, the end thing that you want to keep in mind, you just got to have that vision, okay? You're the leader. And I think sometimes that we forget that we are the leader, right? I know I forgot. Ashley, you're the leader. So whatever issues that you're having in your childcare business, it's because you are not stepping up to the plate as a leader and you're not putting the right things in place. Okay. Now, when I'm working with clients, this is what I do. I help them create a plan that ensures two things when it comes to staff and parents. Now, what I do, and this is what you should be having in place, is what I like to call my automatic customer service cycle system. So this basically walks through the life cycle of a family from the time they get to you to the time they leave. This really cuts down on some of the pickiness. This cuts down on some of the just a lot of stuff that parents come in and they, whatever. Okay, it cuts down on all that stuff. Why? Because you have a plan and a vision for this family when they come in your door and they enroll with you to the time that they leave. You have a plan when they complain. You have a plan when they come in and they're like, oh, I love your program. You got a plan for that because you should be having a plan even when parents are satisfied with you, right? And so we also look at, I have what's called the automatic staffing cycle system, which is the same thing. It's a life cycle of a staff. We look at attracting and hiring and retaining, and we look at all those things, okay? Because here's the thing about it. If you don't have a plan to make sure that those on your front line are dealing with the parents the way they should be, then once again, you're just going to keep running into the same issue. And same thing with the parent, right? So you got to have a plan. And what I did when I ran my childcare business was that I implemented an automation plan, okay? So I just kind of went over that in the beginning in regards of automation, but I implemented an automation plan. Now, we also look at you as a leader because once again, when there's a problem inside your program, you got to look at yourself. I don't know how else to say that or put that, But you got to look at yourself. And those that know me know that I'm just going to tell you like it is. Like, there's no need in getting on here and for me to go in and just give you some fluff stuff and things like that and give you what I like to call the feel good stuff, right? Like, that's just pointless. But you got to look at yourself. Okay. And so we look at that. We look at you as a leader. We look at, your management style. And actually, we look at ensuring that your leadership style aligns with what your program needs at that specific time. See, that's very powerful because leaders, you should be able to wear different types of leadership style hats, what I call. Okay, there's different kinds of leaders. And you got to know when you should be coming in and what type of leader that you should be coming in at based off of what your program needs at that particular time. Okay. That's just, you look at any coach, you look at any great leader, like they know when to switch things up or what they need or what kind of leader. They know when they need to be a coach. They know when they need to be that person that is kind of like, what I'm saying? Like, hey, y'all, we got to get this thing rolling. They know when they need to be sensitive. Like they know, and so leadership is a lot about you. And it's a lot about learning about yourself. And I know me personally, whenever I was, running my childcare business and I had the staffing and I was doing the management and leadership, literally, you guys, I learned so much about myself. And once I kind of really was able to understand that, it's when I became a good leader because I was aware of myself. I was aware of how my leadership, even literally down to what I was saying and how I was saying it to a particular staff member or a parent, I was aware of how that aligned with the situation and what needed to be said at that specific time. Okay. There is an art. There's an art to leadership and it does take a lot of time. We're not, people say that people are born leaders. Well, yeah, I do believe that there are people that are born leaders, but I still feel like that you've got to perfect that. And with anything, if you don't use it, you'll lose it. So you gotta practice leadership. Okay. So the takeaway for today, how you deal with staff under parents starts with you. Okay. See, here's the thing, right? This is it. This is where if I was on a PowerPoint board, I would be highlighting this, underline it. This is it. Okay. Here's what I want you to take away from our time together. You cannot change people. That we can't change. People are going to be people. Staff are going to be staff. Picky parents are going to be picky parents. You can't change that. But what you do have control of changing is you and your systems. Okay. Those are the things that you can alter, change, go in, make it better, all of that stuff. And so instead of focusing on the picky parent or focusing on the staff, let's focus on you and your systems. Okay. That's what you need to do. So with that being said, you guys, this is really all I had for today. I hope that you got something out of this, right? Hi, Mom. How are you? Brandy's mom is watching. Awesome. Well, I am glad to, I guess, virtually meet you. Maybe you can see me, but I can't see you. But anyway, glad you're watching. I have so enjoyed working with Brandy. So, the thing is that, I hope you got something from this, you guys. I hope that this kind of maybe clarifies. I know I had asked in the group, what is it that you guys wanted me to talk about? And so there was one that said staff and one that said parents. And I was like, well, maybe I should do one of each or something like that. And I was like, no, wait a minute, because these two go hand in hand. So it's a perfect thing. Thank you so much for that. Be sure, like I said, if you have any topics that you want me to do when I do these go lives, I usually do them every Wednesday for the most part. Please let me know. I want to be relevant to whatever you're dealing with, and I want to be helpful. I want to help you think about how you need to go about your challenges with running your childcare business. So, hi Tammy, thank you so much. All right, so here's what you can do if this resonates with you, whatever. I've got a free download, okay? Some of you all may or may not know that, but I do have a free download. I'll put the link below once I get off of here. and it will lead you into a checklist. So you get a checklist. It's free. And it's called, what is it called? Because I have so much stuff, y'all. It's it's an automation checklist. So what it's going to do is it's going to help you look at all the areas of your childcare business and just kind of give you like a little something, a guide to kind of check off to see how automated that you are. Because this is it, you guys. I was talking to somebody the other day, and she was like saying that she really wanted to run her childcare business like, you know, other businesses do, like McDonald's and, you know, all those kind of things. Now, granted, we are dealing with, you know, we're dealing with children, but at the same time, you don't see the owner of the McDonald's franchise that he or she owns in there fooling around. You know, you don't see them in there making the hamburgers and all that kind of stuff. Who do we normally see in there? We see the manager. So, you know, although depending on what kind of childcare program that you run, whether it's a family or whatever, but the end goal is that you want to have a business that's going to literally kind of run itself and take care of itself, so that you, as a childcare business owner, can make sure that you're being taken care of, right? Self-care is so important, you guys. And I know that we don't do it a lot. Most of you guys that are watching, most of you all that are part of my community are women. You know, we're moms. We are, you know, we wear a lot of roles here. And one of the things we don't do enough of is take care of ourselves. And I know when I ran Ashley Angels, just didn't happen for me. I mean, I was that owner that was like that picky parent. I mean, I would bend over backwards for somebody, right? And I know, in fact, I think I just either did a post or something like that where I said it was an email went out to, if you're not on my email list, get on it, because I send out stuff to my email list and just different stuff, but I'll put the link below to that too. But I had wrote a little email, and it was about, what was it? Hang on. It was, the things I said yes to in my early years when I started running my childcare business that I said no to in my later years. And one of those things was, I'm not going to deal with picky parents anymore. I don't have to. But, you know, naturally though, for myself, I go all in. I go all in with something. And so, you know, that's you have to learn how to make sure that you're taking care of yourself in the process of running this childcare business. So I'm going to put the link to that free download, the automation checklist, down below for you. Also, if you are not a part of my private Facebook group community, I'm going to put the link down below as well. We just do all kinds of stuff in there, you guys. I usually do like a free training monthly. You know, I try to keep it fun. I'm posting stuff in there all the time to kind of keep you thinking on these kind of lines and make sure that you got that mindset. It's a place where you can come in and ask questions, you know, get answers. So anyway, y'all know what Facebook groups are, so I don't have to go into all that. But join, okay? It's really great. There's over thousands of members in there of people that are trying to get started, those that are already in business. So I mean, you can't go wrong with joining the group. It's free. You can get in there and get lots of support in there. And then also, I'm going to also give you a link if you want to directly join my email list, so you can kind of have access to the different emails and things like that I send out. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I am so glad that you guys were here joining me live. And I think that's all I have for today. I feel like I could just talk about this on and on. But anyway, you guys, I'm not going to do that because, you know, obviously y'all got things you got to do, and I got to get back to work as well. So thank you so much for joining me. Be sure that you dig into those links that I'm going to leave below. And as always, I am sending you my prayers of encouragement and success your way. Have a great rest of your Wednesday and a beautiful rest of your week. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks.